Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's Golo.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's Golo.com. Again, Golo.com.
You just pulled a bag of pot out of your vagina.
I know.
Why would you do that?
I do it all the time. It's in a bag, and the vagina is nature's pocket. It's natural, and it's responsible.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
Well, hey, listen, when you're this good looking and this famous of a podcaster, then
it happens.
That's it. Yeah. I had a few people text in to remind me that I am indeed not famous. That famous people don't text back to the peons. That's not what happened.
You would absolutely be involved with it.
I was speaking with Emily earlier, and I feel confident she is here for love. She also gives great head.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's what she told me last night.
That's what she told me last night. She's here for love. Unfortunately, I can't give her that love, so she's still yours. And what about you, teenage son, whose name I forgot? What's going on with you? I'm going through puberty. Now, that's nothing to talk about before dinner. Let's hold that inside for the next 15 years. We'll find an appropriate time to talk about it. I washed all your pants. I found lipstick all over your collars. And I scrubbed the shit off your shoe. How was yours?
And then I got drunk.
Yeah. And then I've been taking mommy's little helpers all day long just to get through my miserable existence.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Cats and kittens, welcome back to The Commercial Break. I am Brian Green. This is my dear friend and co-host, Kristen Joy Holdley. Best to you, Krissy.
And best to you,
and best to you out there in the podcast universe. How the hell are you? Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of this, The Commercial Break. It's not for everybody, but fact, news, or fiction is guaranteed in 15 seconds or less. Go to the tcbpodcast.com website to collect your earnings.
And best to you, Nana.
And best to you, Nana. My new Nana. Best to you, new Nana. All right, we're officially doing the show to one person and one person only, and that's Kyle and Rodan's neighbor. That's it.
Yep.
Our new Nana, known as Kyle and Rodan's neighbor. Go back and listen to Best to You, New Nana, if you want to hear all about it. So I just got back from L.A., and, they have like a homeless person problem there. Like, it's very serious, and it is apparent.
Yeah, I'm always reading about that.
It's crazy. It really is, and it's sad, and there people out there have solutions, and of course those solutions don't work for other people's opinions, and there's no real easy answer to this. You certainly don't want to encourage people who are otherwise able and capable to just live off of government paychecks. I don't agree with that, but at the same time, there's a mental illness and drug addiction, which is a form of mental illness. Like, there is a lot of complicated shit you got to get to the bottom of. But here's the story. So I'm walking. So I go to a meeting. And I'm walking through the streets of Burbank, downtown Burbank.
Okay.
With another gentleman that I work with. And my phone rings. And I'm talking to, this guy. And it's Astrid. And I click, go away.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb. Leave me alone, Astrid. And then the second call comes. But this time it's FaceTime. And I'm like, okay, I really can't FaceTime now. Let me click, and then I'll write her a message. But before I get a chance to send that message, she's calling a third time. Now, anytime a loved one calls you 3 times, you know what that means. You got to pick the fuck up.
Yeah,
something's going on, right? No one,
No, especially not my wife. She's not prone to histrionics. Like, if she knows I'm busy, she'll leave me alone, and then I'll call her later, vice versa. So I pick up the phone, and she is in hysterics, like absolute hysterics. She's crying. She's melting down. I can just tell by the tone of her voice something is wrong, and it is. Mia has locked herself in the dark bathroom. She's pressed the locking mechanism, and she's closed the door. She's already been in there for a number of minutes, and Astrid doesn't know where the key to the house locks where that has a little hole, and you take the thing and you poke it around and you open it up. She can't find that.
Usually like a coat hanger, right?
Yeah, you can do a coat hanger, but they give them to you in the packages when you buy the doorknob. They give you like this little thing. It just looks like the end of a coat hanger twisted up.
Yeah.
But it's easy to just kind of move. I say it's easy. It's not really easy. It can be complicated and hard to do, especially depending on what kind of lock you have. Well, these fucking locks, doorknobs that we have at our house, they're beautiful, but you can't fucking unlock them because it's so damn difficult. So as to screaming, where's the key? The key to the locks, the key to the locks. And I happen to have one in the studio, and I'm like, go in the studio, there it is. Yeah. Calm down, like it'll be okay. But I can hear Mia screaming bloody murder in the background. No. She's scared. She's been in there for a while. Yeah. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't understand, she's only 2, so she doesn't really understand what we're trying to tell her. Like when I say it's going to be okay, she doesn't know that, right? Yes. All she knows is she's separated from everybody in the dark. Matty, to his credit, is like, so Astrid's on FaceTime, right? And so she goes to get the thing and she puts the phone down on the floor. Matty comes in the view of the FaceTime and he's like, Daddy, Mia's in the bathroom. Come quick. And I'm like, I can't, buddy. Mommy's going to figure it out. So mommy comes, she tries to do it, but I think she's, obviously upset. She's hearing her baby on the other side crying and she just can't get it. Like she can't do it. And she's like, I'm going to call the fire department. I'm like, hold on. They'll take time to get there. Let me call the neighbor, right? So the incredible neighbors that we have. I call him, the husband of the family. He says, I'm not there, but my wife and my teenage son, who's like 17 years old.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, they're or he's 15. They're there. Let me have them run over. They're calm. Maybe they can figure it out. So get over, nothing. It's not working. I'm like, okay, God. Get the crowbar and the hammer and just pop that thing open. I don't give a shit, right? I'm freaking out, but I'm staying calm because me freaking out is going to make everybody else freak out even more.
That's true.
Right? Matty's running around like, Daddy, come quick, man. Astrid's upset. Obviously, she can hear her baby screaming. And the 2 level heads in the situation, the 2 calm people who've just entered the situation are trying their best, but they're also not having success. So finally, I'm like, call the fire department. Just call the fire department. Get her out of there. I don't care. If they ruin the house, it's fine. It doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter.
No, you have to get to the baby.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of the streets of Burbank, walking up and down, pacing back and forth on this FaceTime call, staying calm, but really inside, like absolutely losing my shit, as me is also screaming bloody murder now. Are you back in the closet, hon? So this is all going down, and then while Astrid, I think, is getting prepared to call the fire department, like, okay, I'm going to hang up with you and I'm going to call the fire department, the young man pops the door. He manages to get the door open, right? But it was very hard. It was very difficult. Now I understand why Astrid couldn't get it the first couple minutes. She's nervous. She's shaking. She's upset. The baby's upset. So she pops it open. Door comes. Whatever. Reunited. You can see in Astrid's eyes. She's like, oh my God, all this fear. And the other person, the other adult in the room is not there, and in fact, many miles away. And I'm feeling the same way, helpless, hopeless, and hard. And my heart is breaking for all of this screaming and yelling going on. So as soon as I hang up the phone, it's like one of those uncontrollable moments. I don't cry very often, but I started to cry because I felt like I was holding it together while I was on the call. Right. But when I got off the call, it was this real sense of hopelessness. And I wasn't like bawling, but you could see in my eyes, I was like crying. There were tears coming down my face.
Yeah.
As I'm just trying to cool off from this whole situation, like just doing a little walking around this corner, the people I work with have now gone to a bar down the street. And as I'm turning that corner, a homeless man is turning the corner also. Homeless, for sure, without any doubt, right? He turns the corner. He takes one look at my face. He walks up to me. He grabs my shoulder and he goes, "It's going to be all right, man. Shit going to get better."
Oh, that was so nice.
I was like, oh my God, dude. And then he goes, "You got a quarter for a cup of coffee?" And I go, "Oh man, if I did, I would give it to you." I was like, "I'll buy you a cup of coffee." Yeah. And he goes, "No, that's cool, man. Hope you feel better." And I was like, wow.
There's hope left for humanity.
There's hope left for humanity, and they're in Los Angeles without a house. Like, we got to get these people straightened out.
Yes, we do.
It was the most amazing gesture on someone on the side of the street. There 100 people must have passed by me, and they didn't even look me in the eye. This guy looked me straight in the eye and then grabs my shoulder and tells me it's going to be okay.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what the fuck I'm crying about, right? And I just thought it was the most amazing gesture. Kind of funny because the homeless guy turns the corner and tells me it's going to be okay. Yes. And I should have been saying that to
him,
like,
right?
Hey, man, it's going to be okay. I got a dark bathroom you can stay in if you want. It locks up just nicely. You'll have all your own privacy. But it was amazing that that this kind of humanity was shown by someone who clearly had no idea who I was and has so many bigger problems to deal with than daughter locked in the bathroom. Even though in that moment it seemed like a big deal, in the grand scheme of things, she was safe and warm and dry and all that other stuff. And it was unlikely she was going to be harmed, right, in any way. It's just a scary, big, scary moment that everyone's trying to figure it out from.
Can't get to each other. For
sure. So
I'm glad that turned out okay.
Yeah, it turned out okay. So that was part of my trip to LA had to do with me dealing with an emergency. And then of course I turn the corner and I see two hippie kids smoking a big fat bowl, and I thought, this is the best of Los Angeles.
Yes.
The homeless guy with empathy and the two hippie kids who have way too much time and money on their hands. They're just standing around getting stoned.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. The entirety of Los Angeles smells like weed.
Yeah.
The entirety of Los Angeles.
The entirety
like
of
weed.
my apartment complex smells like weed.
That's true in Atlanta too.
It's not even legal here, but
I just saw a video where a dude got stopped by a plainclothes police officer inside of the airport in Dallas.
Yeah.
Because he smelled like weed. Because he smelled like weed. Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that weird? Like, can you get arrested for smelling like weed?
No.
I didn't know that. But this guy got stopped, and it really made
question.
me. Yeah, it made me very upset.
Yeah.
I was wondering, why did this guy get stopped? It was clear why this guy got stopped. It was clear why this guy got stopped. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he got stopped because of the way that he looked. So let's talk a little bit about, we haven't talked much about this, but I think it's important that we have a conversation about Yeze and what's going on with Yeze.
Oh, Lord. Well, speaking of mental illness.
He is off the reservation.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that for a little while, but
this guy's off the reservation.
Really gone crazy.
Yeah, he has gone crazy, and I have a hard time. So I was having this conversation with someone while I was in California, and it's really hard to wrap your head around exactly what Yeze is saying at any given time, and it has been for a long time, I think. And I understand that there may be some brilliance there as far as music is concerned, and maybe that his mental illness is posturing some of that brilliance. Like, some of the things he says are just kind of flowing through him. I think sometimes mental illness just simply means you're just not on this earth with us. You happen to be somewhere else.
You're a star man.
You're a star man. That's right. You're out there floating in the ether, grabbing things that we can't see or hear because we're just built differently. And so for a while I thought that about Kanye, because I was like, okay, everyone thinks he's a genius. Maybe he's just one of those geniuses that you're really not understood while he's here, but something else is going on. Now I just think he's a big fucking dumb moron.
Right.
Like,
and I mean, the whole thing,
I don't get it.
None of it makes any sense.
None of it makes any sense.
No.
Why? I don't understand the anti-Semitism. No. I don't understand where that came from.
And speaking of homeless, apparently he was giving out to homeless in LA the White Lives Matter t-shirts. So he was helping clothe the homeless with White Lives Matter.
Yeah, nothing like starting a race war inside of the homeless encampments. I mean, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost so many of his endorsement deals.
He's no longer a billionaire.
I know.
He's no longer a billionaire because he lost Adidas. And it's like, I understand money's not everything, right?
And did you see that he walked into Skechers? Or something.
Yeah, he walked into Skechers and was like, I don't know.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, I'm here to
they're
make a deal.
Well, we don't want you.
Yeah, they're like, thanks anyway.
Yeah,
we have to say really, I don't know. Who the fucking knows with him? You know, he's always doing, but they didn't want him. They sent him right outside of the building.
Yeah, they're like, you're toxic.
Yeah, here's the thing. To be overtly racist or anti-Semitic or homophobic, it's just not a good look. First of all, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't feel that in your heart.
Well, I was going to say, why do you even think that?
I don't know.
Why do people think that?
He's buying into all these conspiracy theories that have been going on since infinitum. Like, it's always the Jews. The Jews are always getting shit on. For what reason? I don't know.
I don't either.
Because a few of them were shifty or shady. Hey, dude, every single serial killer in the history of Earth, with the exception of the DC sniper, has been a Christian white man. So there you go. There's some shifty motherfuckers out there.
Oh, yeah.
There just are. And so you can't just paint everybody a certain color because you have read something on a QAnon board. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I see exactly why Kim was like, I can't do this anymore.
Kim was out. Yeah. Kim was out. Yeah. Why did she do this in the first place? Didn't she know that this was like a problem when she first married him?
Oh, you know, I mean, he's had his arc. He rose fast.
It's kind of like the commercial break. He rose fast and fell hard.
Crashed.
Yeah. Rose fast and fell hard. We're in the middle of that fall, in case anybody's wondering.
Yep.
Send your donations to tcbpodcast.com. Keep these two podcasters alive.
Help Bryan buy a cup of coffee for somebody else.
That's right. I'm going to be in the homeless encampment pretty soon. I just don't get it. I don't understand why I don't understand why Yeze has taken this path, butting up to.
Well, and somebody needs to help him. Like, somebody needs to be true with him. I think he's got a bunch of yes people around him, too.
Yeah, he's not got that Candace Owens lady. That's
are like, yeah, what you're doing is great. It's good.
It's great. It's good for publicity. You'll love it. And part of me thinks, like, maybe this is just a whole publicity stunt, and when he's done, he's done. Right? He's just going to turn around and say,
I don't know.
It's
It
just all
keeps
for publicity.
flaring up.
Yeah, but I mean, to lose $1 billion contract over a publicity stunt seems like a pretty fucking stupid publicity stunt. It's supposed to go the opposite direction.
Right.
It's not supposed to go, you lose money. It's supposed to go, you make money and get more attention.
Yeah.
And, we've talked about Yeze on this program before, and when he's had other flare-ups, and I'm not making fun of mental illness. My immediate family has mental illness.
I think everybody's family has something.
I'm sure
in
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
I think we're all mentally ill in some way. If you look hard enough, we all have something about us that's just a little bit off. But like true mental illness, where it manifests itself in manic ways and crazy, like things that you say or do that are just like outside the absolute, scope of what could be normal.
Yeah.
Because you are definitely mentally ill. Your problems supersede just a unique way of thinking. It actually is a chemical imbalance that's causing some kind of drama or, misinterpretation of the world around you. And I think we've talked about Kanye before in this way and said he's really having a breakdown and somebody's got to get him back on his meds. This guy, he needs like a Britney Spears like conservatorship. Get that Britney Spears father in here and let's get him whipped up into shape. Yeah,
that's true. Send him
just
in.
stuff him away for 6 years and
You're
don't let him
on
do
Kanye
anything. Yeah.
instead.
You're in charge of Kanye. Although I think Kanye would probably be twice as much trouble as Britney ever was. I think we need to get a conservatorship for Kanye.
Yes.
The guy's still got some music left in that head, and we might like it. We got to get him to calm down on all the conspiracy theories. He's spending too much time on that 4chan or whatever it is. 4chan, 8chan. I'm not even sure what it is, but I thought it was time to mention something. Everything is kind of cooled down just a little bit, but when you have skinheads on the side of the road praising your name, you're probably not doing something right. Probably not doing something right. Yeah, it's probably bad for business, Kanye. I'm just sharing that.
Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, and did you hear the thing?
And his school got shut down too. He had a school.
Yeah.
I didn't even
for
realize
parkour. It was like a parkour school.
I didn't even realize that was actually a school that people were going to.
Ever since Oprah opened up one of those schools, now everybody thinks that's a cool thing to do. I think Oprah had a hell of a time with that school. Like I think it's in its like 20th year or something.
Yeah.
And it's just now producing like graduates because it's really difficult to just start a fucking school. You don't just start a fucking school. That's for educators to do. And my understanding of the Yeze school is people are running around doing flips in the hallways and just like it's not really for education. It's more for you look fun. That looks fun.
Foster creativity.
Yeah, foster creativity. I've seen those. I went to that. I had dated a girl who went to that foster creativity kind of school. She's a Looney Tune. It was crazy. Couldn't add 2 + 2, but man, when you got high, she told some fascinating stories. Fascinating.
Oh, I bet.
Why is it that whenever I talk about somebody I date, they're always the crazy ones? I'm starting to think that in my older age, I'm starting to wonder if the finger should be pointed at me.
From an outside perspective, though, I have to agree.
See, I got someone to back me up. So my reality is not. Yeah,
I saw all of this.
Well, there was 1 for sure.
Yeah.
2 likely.
Yes.
3 probably. Maybe the 4th one, it was just me egging her on. She got crazy because she was around me.
You drive people to crazy.
Well, hey, listen, when you're this good looking and this famous of a podcaster, then
it happens.
That's it. Yeah. I had a few people text in to remind me that I am indeed not famous. That famous people don't text back to the peons. That's not what happens. Some guy he wrote, "Hey man, I got an answer to whether or not you're famous," and the answer is no.
And I was like, oh, why do you think that? And he goes, because you text with me. Famous people don't do that. They have their assistant do that. And I was like, oh, how do you know this is not your assistant?
Right.
He's like, is it? And I go, no. But what if I had an assistant? How would you know the difference? And he goes, I know the difference. He's a smart ass. Even the people who think I'm famous don't think I'm famous. Like even the people who believe that we have some kind of notoriety.
It was the one lady in the mellow mushroom.
Let's be real about it. There was one lady in the mellow mushroom who had no idea what the commercial break was. Some guy told her that oh, here comes the guy from the commercial break. And she was like, who's that? And she's like, oh, he's big famous comedy podcaster. Little does she know that number 162 in the comedy podcast category in Apple does not make you famous. Conan O'Brien. Now there's a famous guy. There is a famous guy.
Absolutely. I saw that we were ticking back up too with the Canadians.
Oh yeah, we're moving back up the line with the people in Canada.
Like it.
Yeah, Canada and Australia. They like us in ebbs and flows. I think. I think occasionally we're just too dumb for them, and then sometimes it goes, "Oh, that's funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I'll listen to that episode." I do notice that too. We really ebb and flow on Canada and Australia. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll be like number 16, and then we're like number 212. And it goes back to what I was saying about the commercial break. I think there's only so much that people can take.
Yeah.
And I think 3 episodes is like the very, very, very edge.
The max.
That's like the very line of how much commercial break could be out there.
You've had a big steak dinner.
It's like Thanksgiving.
Mashed potatoes.
It's like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes, it's Thanksgiving.
You ingest a little bit, and then you go sit down,
you
take a nap,
for a while.
Fart for a while. Then you'll come back later for seconds.
Ooh, cold turkey, yum.
The commercial break. We'll put you to sleep on the couch in front of the football. Bad gas, we understand. We're here at the commercial break. Brian's got gas. The commercial break. Brian's got gas too.
Hey, we're bottling that shit.
Oh yeah, we're bottling that up
Jarring
right now.
it up.
Sending it out the RSS
Brian's
feed.
ass.
Brian ass.
The good stuff.
I got that good. I got that good. I got that Brian ass. Who looking? Oh man, that's bunk shit, man. You got to get the good shit straight out of the ass.
Well,
I got a can under him while he's doing the commercial break. I just bottle it up. I cut it with a little fresh air. You know,
what happened to that girl that was selling her farts?
Farts in a jar?
Yeah.
I think she's still 90 Day famous, but I don't think she's like, I think that was her moment. Her moment was I'm selling farts in a jar.
Speaking of the 90 Day kind of genre of things.
Sure.
I saw that there's a new season of Love is Blind already again. And I was like, I'm not doing it. Oh, you're watching it.
We're watching it.
I was like, I'm not going to do it.
It's been coming out in spurts, and we've been watching it.
Is it good this season? Or is it just the same?
Well, listen, I'm not going to ruin it because I don't know yet. They haven't released the last episode, which is when they, the last 2 episodes when they get married or don't get married. But I've watched all the episodes up until then, and I have to say that it's the first season was so good.
The first season was the best.
The second season, they truncated the time in the pods that they showed, and they showed more of the relationship building, and I felt it was a little worse for it. The third season, they go back to that same formula. They cut down even more on the time in the pods, and they show more time, like on the honeymoon, getting to know each other,
it's going
seeing the
Bachelor
family
style.
Yeah, it's really taking a long time. Mm-hmm. They show unnecessary parts of the relationship. It's just like sometimes it seems like they're just killing time with unnecessary film, and I'm like, I just want to see the drama. Now there is some drama, and there are a couple douchebags in this season that I think people will hate, just like they hated Shake or whatever his name was, and then the guy before, remember Shake? Yeah, okay. And then the other guy. There's a Shake-like character on this one.
Yeah. The other guy was the guy that was really loud.
Oh yeah,
Nick or something.
His name was Brian Green. This was, this is not my favorite season.
All right, well, I'm not starting it then.
Here's the thing about Love is Blind 2. Love is Blind also. Those two fucking, Nick Lachey and his beautiful wife, they're lovely. They're lovely hosts. The problem is, the challenge for me is, they're like that guy who used to host The Bachelor. They walk in,
they pop in,
they ask one question, and they're like, okay, see you in the aisle, and then you don't see him again ever. They literally say 15 words, and then they're gone. And occasionally they'll show up. Like they show up in episode number 1, then they don't show up again until episode number 4 when they're on the honeymoons. And while they're on the honeymoons, they're like, there's trouble between one couple. So they ask that one couple one question. They don't answer it in any way satisfactory. They don't get into it. There's no drama there. And then Nick's like, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, couples, you have exactly 3 weeks to get it together. So we'll see you in the aisle.
Yeah, she's a little bit more engaging.
Yeah. And Nick Lachey seems sincere, at least. I mean, he doesn't seem like a total douche. Yeah, he's got that face where you kind of believe what he says, right? It's like he gives a shit. I understand they're executive producers, but they got to get more involved. They got to poke and prod this drama along. That's what a good host does. Like Chris Harrison didn't do anything. He just showed up with, ladies, this is the final rose. I'll see you 15 weeks from now. And then he only showed up when there was some extemporaneous drama where he had to sit somebody down and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Why did you have sex with both of the bellmen at the beautiful hotel we're staying at?
Why not?
Are you really in this for love? Yes, I am, Chris.
Of course.
I believe you. I'm going to go back and tell the rest of the people. And then you don't see him again, ever. It's just, what a great job to have. I think I could be the Chris Harrison. No, I couldn't, because I'm too fucking chatty. I'd be like, wait, that's it? Let me talk to some of these guys.
Those girls would be wanting to date you, and then you'd probably date one on the side, and something would happen. And that's if you were in your single days. Yeah. I'm picturing you getting involved.
Oh, my God. I wouldn't be
able
to handle myself.
You would all of a sudden be the Bachelor.
Oh, yeah. Just like hanging around all those, like in that resort for 5 weeks.
All of a sudden you see Bryan popping, drinking a Bud Light.
Like they show the hotel door room a lot in that show, and I'd be like, pop my head out. She's not ready. Give her 15 minutes.
He would.
And then they show a camera angle of the other, like the window of the hotel room, and I'm like flying out of it. I'll talk to you later.
You would absolutely be involved with it.
I was speaking with Emily earlier, and I feel confident she is here for love. She also gives great head.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's what she told me last night.
That's what she told me last night. She's here for love. Unfortunately, I can't give her that love, so she's still yours. We call it Bachelor Plus. 2 lucky women go home with Bryan and 1 with the Bachelor. That's how it works. And then Bryan gets kicked out of bed because that's what happens with threesomes with Bryan.
That's right.
Yes. I just read a Dear Emily or something out there, like one of those, advice columns about the exact same thing we've been talking about with threesomes. And this guy said, or the girl said, I'm really upset because I agreed to have a threesome, but we had laid one ground rule down. No alone stuff. You can't do it.
Yeah,
you can't do it alone.
Crucial,
right? Crucial for trust and all this other stuff.
Yes.
Well, she wakes up in the morning after a long night, and he's banging the other girl. And the Dear Emily lady said, "Hey, listen, this is kind of gray area. I think he's got you on this one because you didn't say. Don't you assume that when you said don't do it alone, it meant like you were outside the room? Like if you guys just had sex a couple of hours ago and he had sex with this girl a couple of hours ago, having sex even while you're sleeping is still kind of a question mark.
No, the sleeping is they're alone. Then if she's sleeping.
Yeah. Listen. I have sex most of the time when I have sex, the other person is sleeping or I put them to sleep. And I don't mean that in like like I didn't get consent.
The commercial
I mean that,
break. We'll put you to sleep.
Yeah. Best podcast to sleep to. So I know it's true that when you have a threesome, things get complicated, they get messy, and it's unlikely you're going to come out on top. I'm just saying. No pun intended. Krissy, speaking of, I don't know what we're speaking of, but speaking of.
While we're on the entertainment, this bandwagon here, did you see that Nick Cannon is about to have his 11th child?
Oh my God, that guy's a Looney Tune too.
I saw
crazy.
like my BuzzFeed notification came through. It said, Nick Cannon expecting an 11th child. Now he can officially have a soccer team. I mean, it's crazy how many kids he has.
Yeah, he's got a harem, not a harem. He's got I don't know, like a fiefdom of children.
Yeah, with different women.
Yeah.
He's got a couple with Mariah.
That's right. He's got 2 with Mariah, and then he's got like 5 other baby mamas, doesn't he?
It's just all over the place.
Some people just want to spread their seed. And listen, he's probably okay on money, so I guess he's going to be able to take care of all
He's always
kids.
hosting something. That's what made me think about the hosts.
Yeah. Well, he got kicked off that AGT.
Yeah.
Because he was like getting a little too radical too. He was like saying some stuff that was like kind of out there also.
Yeah.
And I don't think AGT was down with it.
He might need to talk to our the guy that we interviewed, or not that we interviewed, the ITV people interviewed him.
Oh yeah.
The guy the alien.
The alien guy who had 3,000 children.
Yeah, he might need to speak to him about saving for college.
Well, the good news about the guy with aliens is they don't live very close. So I don't think they're going to like Georgia State University. Pretty sure they're not. But 11 kids. Listen, if you have kids with different mamas, whatever. If that's your thing and everyone agrees and you can take care of the kids, then God bless you. But 11 fucking kids.
Seems like a lot.
How do you give any one of them any attention whatsoever? It's hard enough to give 2 kids attention, and I got a third coming. I don't even know what's going to go on. I'm Blue, poor Blue. It's just like
Blue's going to be the babysitter.
Yeah, I know. Look, the thing that saves that dog's ass in this house is the fact that she's good with my children. If she wasn't good with my fucking children, she would have been, I don't know what would have happened, but she wouldn't have been here but the thing is since Nico is gone, since Nico has passed, she's been really on her best behavior.
Nico.
Yeah, R.E.P. Nico. Okay, let's stop talking about Nico. Okay. Let's talk about family. One of the challenging things about having a family is dinner time, because toddlers at dinner time, they take a bite, they do a somersault. They take a bite, they do 2 flips over the banister, and then they run around the family room, then they come back to the table. You can never get them to sit down for more than 3 seconds.
Yes.
But it wasn't always like this. When I was a kid, you sat the fuck down, and you did not get up from the dinner table until you were finished and allowed to leave.
That's right, you had to ask.
That's right. Well, I kind of think I starting to understand exactly where some of these rules came from, and they in fact came from the U.S. government.
What?
Who was putting out public service announcements about what to do while you have family dinner. Hey, everybody in the podcast universe, it's time for a commercial break. Inside this commercial break, Krissy and I want to thank everybody, all the loyal listeners who have been writing in at 855-TCB-8383 and tcbpodcast.com. Questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas, we're taking it all at 855-TCB-8383 or tcbpodcast.com and hit the contact us button. At the commercial break on Instagram. And do us a favor, go check out the brand new YouTube channel, youtube.com/the commercial break, or go to the search box and type in the @ TCB podcast, and up will flow all of our videos out of YouTube thin air. It's like magic. Speaking of magic, our sponsors are magical because they keep us on the air free and frequently to you. If you're ever in the market for our sponsors, products, or services, please do us a favor and use the specialized URLs and codes if we give them inside of the advertisement. Speaking of those wonderful sponsors, let's take just a few minutes to hear from them, and then we'll be back to this episode of The Commercial Break. Hey everybody, I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored in part by our good friends at Lululemon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever you identify yourself with, listen up, because Lululemon is not just for yoga pants. The holiday season is here, Halloween is officially over, and we need to start thinking about the gifts we're going to give each other and ourselves. And at Lululemon.com, they have everybody covered. I just got some License to Train jogger pants, and they are the most comfortable, the most cozy, the softest pants I have ever put on. That's no joke. There's a reason why millions of people across this country and the world have fallen in love with Lululemon. And at Lululemon.com, whether you're male or female or identifying some other way, you are going to find your style. And if you think it's all jogging pants and yoga gear, you are completely wrong, just like I was. I look on the website, they have polo shirts, they have slacks, they have shoes, they have socks, they have swimwear, almost anything you need for your entire wardrobe. Lululemon.com has it. Go to Lululemon.com. Set the joy in motion this holiday season. Get cozy, get comfortable, get Lululemon at Lululemon.com. And we want to thank Lululemon for being a sponsor of The Commercial Break. Go on, guys, get yourself a pair of Lululemon pants. You're going to love it. So without further ado, Krissy, I was trolling on the internet.
As you do.
As I do, and I found a video explaining the do's and don'ts of dinner time.
Okay.
Okay, now this is highly interesting It's ass backwards. It's just crazy. This would never fly in 2022. Never fly in 2022.
Oh, well, tons of these videos that you find.
Yeah, that's true.
All of them.
Most of what I put out, most of what we review is pretty chauvinistic and crazy.
This boy and girl coming home from school look quite content with life. And why?
That's because they just had sex in the school library.
I know. Are they brother and sister or?
I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
Okay.
They're looking forward to an important date. Dinner at home with the family.
Whee!
An important date. Nothing like dinner at home with the family. 2 iPads, a screaming child in the background, a dog barking, and pee-pee poo-poo all over the place.
What's the matter? Doesn't that sound exciting to you? Well, to them it's a special occasion, as it has been ever since they sat down to dinner in high chairs. Why should they feel that way about something you take so completely for granted? Well, let's see if we can find out.
Let's see if we can dig into these. This is
investigative reporting here.
I wish for 1 second my family was at all like this.
First of all, daughter has changed from school clothes to something more festive.
Festive?
Dressing a little.
See here in her lingerie. Showing her stepbrother what it's all about. By the way, the newest fad on TikTok is to have some girl in a see-through top doing a video that goes, when my stepbrother and I are finally alone. And then it like shows the girl's point of view and then the guy's point of view. And I'm like, what in the good fuck is going on in this country?
I don't know.
Back in the 50s, you had to change to go to dinner into your good clothing.
Yeah, she's in like a dress with an apron.
Yeah, now you're changing into crotchless panties to hang out with your stepbrother.
Makes her feel and consequently look more charming. Even the table takes on a special air. Mother, too, changes from her daytime clothes. The women of this family...
Her robe and a bottle of wine.
Mother changes from her moo and Jack Daniels into something more appropriate. A full-length dress covering every inch of her skin and a bottle of gin. Bathtub gin.
Seem to feel that they owe it to the men of the family to look relaxed, rested, and attractive at dinner time.
Oh, the women owe it to the men to look rested, relaxed at dinner time.
Well.
Yeah, meanwhile, they've been slaving over the house all day long.
And cooking all of the food.
Yeah,
and baking the cake that we just saw.
I guess I should thank Astrid a little more often about all that food cooking, huh?
Brother is spending an hour before dinner
masturbating. He's getting in touch with his inner vachakra.
Catching up on his homework. He has plans this evening. Perhaps that explains...
He's going to smoke some doobies and go rob the local Mickey D's.
Reefer madness.
But he won't spend a lot of time on the phone either. When there are several members of the family to be considered, it is not a good idea for one member to monopolize the phone. And it is never good to allow telephone conversations...
Hey, Sally, it's me, Bobby. You want to get together and smoke some PCP and go fuck on top of the water
I just got this date with my dinner first. My dinner date first with my family.
I got a date with dinner.
A date with the family.
My dad's going to kick the shit out of me. It's going to be fun.
To interfere with studies. Is it that late? Dad'll be here any minute. Better tell Mother she's needed in the kitchen.
Quick, get things together. Fast! He's coming.
He's coming. He's going to beat us senseless.
Everybody change.
He's been watching those videos again. How to beat your children senseless.
We owe it to him.
We owe it to him to look attractive, rested, relaxed, and have the dinner ready.
Brother notices the time and realizes that he must put things in order and clean himself up in time for dinner.
He must clean up his jizz Kleenexes and stuff the penthouses back under the mattress. It's impolite to bring your jizz to dinner.
Hello there.
Here comes little Billy.
Junior is always in a hurry.
Oh, he was a
particularly
surprise.
For dinner.
Yeah, oh, that was a surprise. That's right.
He's a little kid.
So what you don't see is there's two teenagers. One is a girl and one is a boy. That's what they've been talking about. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dennis the Menace shows up.
This little kid with a baseball bat.
With a baseball bat and a face full of dirt like he hasn't been cleaned in 10
Yeah,
days.
he was the surprise.
Yeah, he was the surprise.
But first, there's a cleanup job to do on this young man.
I mean,
We're going to scrub him with borax and pure chlorine.
The brother looks like he could be the dad.
I know, the brother's like a big guy. He's really big. And there's no skinny jeans in this.
No,
there's no
it's
skinny
parachute
jeans.
pants.
Yeah, seriously.
Brother takes it upon himself to help share Junior's responsibility for keeping their room in good order.
He shares a
and
room with
keeping
that little
Junior in
kid?
good-
Yeah, that's the way it went back then. Everybody shared a room. It's not the middle class popped up out of nowhere after World War II, and that's when suburbs started. They just had these box houses, and they basically were all the same. They had a kitchen, a dining room, a family room, 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedrooms at most, right? And for the middle class.
Order 2. Punctuality is stressed in this household. By that I mean hair is combed and faces and hands scrubbed.
How is that
before
punctuality?
the boys come to the table?
That's not punctuality. Punctuality is being on time.
Yeah.
Sounds like Dad just beats you up if you don't have clean nails and clean faces.
So they won't delay the meal. Now, mother and daughter put the finishing touches on the dinner.
As they're prone to do. It's in the contract.
These videos.
It's so ass backwards. It's so ass backwards.
Father,
here's
too,
Dad.
looks forward to this.
Dad looks
There's
like he's
father.
had a few. Dad looks like he's making a few whacks at the kids over the years.
He's
Date
been at the
with
bar.
family.
Oh yeah, yeah. You think Dad just came straight home from the office?
No.
He's been to the titty show, the shoe
He doesn't
show.
want to deal with Junior.
Yeah, of course. I can either go to the shoe show or I can go home to Junior. What an asshole that kid is.
He has had a hard day at the office, and in his briefcase are some contracts which must be looked over tonight. But in the meantime, he will relax at dinner with those
Contracts that you look over. Like everybody in that time period had contracts to look over.
Yep.
I mean, half these guys were pouring cement or cleaning up yards or, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird.
he loves. A simple centerpiece made
I mean,
from
that's
some
literally
flowers
like
which grow in the
Thanksgiving
backyard.
dinner preparations here for this. There's fresh flowers.
Yeah, I
there's,
mean-
there's the cake, a baked cake. There's, I mean, everything's to the
I'm
nines.
curious to
People
know.
are dressed up.
I'm curious to know, you out there in the podcast universe, if you have a family or if you live with a family or are close to family, how often do you set the table in like a really fancy manner for dinner? Because I think Krissy's right. It happens at my house maybe 10 times a year, and it's always some kind of occasion.
Yes.
Always some kind of occasion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have a dining room table that's really nice and you put all the fine stuff out there, and then we have a kitchen table where there's Mickey Mouse stickers and permanent marker.
And let's be honest, you really have the dining room table, but that gets everything piled onto it.
Well, that's what
right?
happens. I mean, that's where all this stuff, you
Yeah,
go
'cause you
straight
don't
from
really
the front door
use
into
that.
the dining room table. We do, but only on special occasion. Like I said, maybe 10
Oh,
times
I
a
mean,
year.
it happened in my household too.
Oh,
When I was
God.
growing up, we kept everything
Yeah.
like.
That's what you do. You keep it on the closest thing available. Like when you walk in the door, you're like, what's the closest thing available? My dining room table. I'm not going to eat there for another 6 weeks. Why not?
Yeah.
Is another of daughter's contributions to the dinner. But it takes up a little too much room, so she moves it to the sideboard.
So she's an idiot and she'll have to do something else with it. Wow, her hair is super fancy for dinner.
That's what I'm saying. This is all very
Yeah.
fancy.
These boys greet their dad as though they
Boys
are genuinely glad to
Boys first.
Yeah, boys are only going to talk to dad. It's not the girls that are going to talk to dad. And listen to how they present this.
see him, as though they had really missed being away from him during the day and are anxious to talk to him. This is the time for pleasant discussion in a thoroughly relaxed mood. They don't pick
Daddy, how was the shoe show? It was fine, son.
I'm really
fine.
relaxed now.
Yeah, I saw that blonde I liked. You know, the one that's much better looking than your mother. Oh, that's really nice, Daddy. That's right. Now run along, Junior, before I beat you. And what about you, teenage son, whose name I forgot? What's going on with you? I'm going through puberty. Now, that's nothing to talk about before dinner. Let's hold that inside for the next 15 years. We'll find an appropriate time to talk about it.
this time of the day to spring unpleasant surprises on Dad. If they have disagreeable news, they'll postpone the discussion until another time. And this is no time to dun Father for a raise in your allowance, new clothes, or argue about other financial matters.
Argue about financial matters? I don't think my dad once brought up financial matters.
Junior is definitely not bringing up financial matters.
Fuck no.
I mean,
because he's 42 years old. He looks 42. He's got a house of his own somewhere. This is like insane. No time to bring up a dun daddy for a raise in your allowance. Hey, Dad, I need an extra 15 cents a week to get me and Sally some of that smoky bokey that's selling on the corner. There's some sticky icky I need, Daddy. I'm going to dibbity dab down at the theater, and over at the sock hop, I'm going to take some of that PCP magic. You know what I'm talking about? Now, it's no time for financial matter conversations.
Dinner time. Yes, Mother. Junior remembered to clean up.
Thank God. I didn't want to have to beat him again.
They don't even kiss.
No, they don't kiss. They don't even sleep in the same bed.
I know.
My grandparents did not sleep in the same bed. They didn't. They had two separate single beds. Mm-hmm. And that's how they slept until he passed away. That's how they slept. And that always seemed, even at my age, very strange. My
grandparents had two separate bedrooms.
They had two separate bedrooms?
Yeah, by the time we came along, I mean, I think that my grandfather snored. So my grandmother was like, I'm out. We're done having kids anyways.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the grandkids.
Wow.
Brother seats Junior. Then helps Mother to her chair as he would his best girl.
His medium-sized girl sits on the floor. And his worst girl, she stands outside in the cold.
That's right.
She doesn't earn a seat at the table because she's a woman. Wow.
Well, the dinner date has begun.
It's a
and
date.
They're all happy about it.
Look at the size of the collar on Junior there. Junior's got a collar that goes like from nipple to nipple. It's so weird.
Many families throughout the country observe the custom of saying grace at mealtime. It is always treated with reverence and respect.
This will later be known as Christian nationalism and tear this country apart. Sorry, one political jab in there. Sorry.
How many plates does Dad have?
Dad's got 12
it
plates.
Looks like he's got 5 piled in his... Okay.
First we feed Junior and then the little boy. Then we feed the 2 mice who've been living under the house. And then we leave some outside for the raccoons. And occasionally we'll give mom and daughter a little food. No reason to get fat now, girls. You want to look rested and relaxed when the boys come home.
Napkins on the lap, the family awaits service.
Oh, he's
feeding
serving the family.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice of him.
While Dad serves. I said pleasantly, for that is the keynote at dinner time. It is not only good manners, but good sense. Pleasant, unemotional conversation helps digestion.
Unemotional conversation. Act like nothing's happening. Keep going. Just
Watch
keep serving.
any episode of a Bravo television show and see how calm and relaxed it is at dinner time. How unemotional the conversation is. There's table flipping and
drinks flying in faces.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Father serves Mother first, then daughter, then the boys. Don't worry, fellas, you won't get left.
You know, this video's in black and white, but I don't think that food probably has any color anyway. That looks like some weird food they're serving. Is it Jell-O?
I don't know what that is.
Ugh.
Help cut your meat, Junior? Of course.
No, but I'll show you how to beat your meat later. I'm going through puberty and Dad won't talk to me about it. I'm climbing the walls around here.
Can I talk to you?
What's that?
Can I talk to you?
Dad, can I talk to you?
By example, Older children can teach younger ones good table manners.
God, I wish my son would do that for my daughter. I don't know what's going on with my daughter, but since she was 1 year old, there is no food that doesn't get played with. Like, my son never went through this phase, but she's been going through it for 2 years. When a meal gets in front of her, you know that a quarter of it's going to go down into her belly, and the other 2/3 is going to go around the house. She's going to be throwing it, feeding it to the dog, putting it on her feet, sticking it in her hair, and she loves it. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
She does.
No one starts eating until father has served himself. Always wait for the hostess, in this case mother, to begin eating before you start.
I was taught that as a kid. I was taught that as a child.
Yeah, I was too.
Let father and mother guide the conversational trend if they desire. After all, they made all this possible and may want to talk over their day with each other.
How was your day, honey? It was fine, Bob.
I can't remember it.
Slaved over your dirty, shitty drawers. I washed all your pants. I found lipstick all over your collars. And I scrubbed the shit off your shoe. How was yours?
And then I got drunk.
Yeah. And then I've been taking mommy's little helpers all day long just to get through my miserable existence. How was yours? Well, I skipped the office today and went straight to the bar, and then I met Tina at the shoe show. I stuck my head in titties and spent most of our money on prostitutes.
That's why I'm going to have to read over these contracts, because I didn't even go to work today.
I got to read over these contracts. I think they have something to do with prostitution. Oh, that's nice, dear. I'll see you tomorrow when I wake up. I'm going back to the shoe show after dinner.
Tell mother how good the food is. Maybe sis rates a compliment too. It makes them want to continue pleasing you.
Hey, Mom, this is great. Tastes like the same old slop we had yesterday.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, all this is good general advice, but there are some specific don'ts. Maybe the family will demonstrate for us.
Oh, please do.
Don't monopolize the conversation and go on and on without stopping.
And
nothing destroys the charm.
And then.
Like, oh my God.
Then Bobby took his dick out in chemistry class. And then him and the teacher went into the hall closet. And then now she's pregnant. And then.
Of a meal more quickly.
Oh, God.
To say that the rest...
Oh, God, there goes
Sally.
again. Manipulating and monopolizing all the conversation.
...that the group is bored would be a gross understatement.
I love that they make the one girl.
I know. They make the one girl. They go,
The
don't
bad
monopolize.
example.
Yeah, and then they show her just chatting away. And the dad looks at her like, I wish I never had her.
The brother's like, ugh.
Are you sure she's mine? Damn girls.
Don't discuss unpleasant topics such as gruesome sights or sounds.
Gruesome?
Or unpleasant occurrences.
I
This is
saw a
time of
murdered
pleasure.
body today.
Hey, Dad, Billy got his hand cut off at the mill this morning. I've got it in my book bag. You want to see?
Of charm and relaxation, remember?
Dad's getting
Dad's getting mad.
Don't find comparisons about your standard of living. The dinner table is no place for discontent. It makes Dad and Mother uncomfortable and unhappy.
No one wants to make anybody uncomfortable.
Yeah, God forbid we make anybody uncomfortable. God forbid we say feelings.
Now everybody makes everybody
Seems to
feel
be a deaf
uncomfortable.
mute showing up into these things. I mean, you're not supposed to do anything. Why is the woman always...
I
Don't
know.
insult your brother or sister with offensive remarks about friends. Arguments, harsh words mean tension and distress for
Wow.
everyone.
This makes no sense.
Your friend Jimmy's been hitting on me since 3rd grade. He's an asshole.
Oh, things are going south.
It's a whole fight.
the
It's turned
dinner.
into Bravo reality
Get
TV.
out.
Do remember
Quick.
simply this. Treat the other members of your family
Andy
with the
Cohen
same
probably saw
respect.
this same video and was like, let's
Do
go
the opposite
back.
of that.
Let's
Yeah.
do that.
I want you to watch this video, girls. Whatever they do, don't.
Respect and cordiality you would show your most treasured friend outside the family circle. This does not mean you should be stiff or formal. With your own family, you can relax.
It looks every bit formal.
It looks every bit stiff and formal. She showed up with a suit on for dinner.
Yeah.
This is so silly.
Just be sure it's your best self. This is better.
Sounds like Adam the Liar, if you're asking me. You're supposed to show up on an Instagram profile. That's what you're supposed to do.
Now things are on an even keel again. Now we're ready for dessert. Most families don't have maids, so Mother needs help with the serving from the kitchen. Son says Mother has done enough. Watch him play butler.
Mother, you've done enough.
The removal of
Mother, you've done enough. You've done enough bad cooking for one day, Mother.
Let me get the cake.
Let me get the cake. Hopefully that has some taste to it.
Dishes from the main course and the serving of dessert set the stage for the conclusion of a thoroughly pleasant meal.
Then you can get down to financial talk after this.
Then you can get back to unpleasantries and yelling and screaming. Dad will beat Junior while Mom and the daughter get drunk on old bathtub gin.
Do you begin to see now how a date with your family can be a truly special occasion?
Nope, I'm thoroughly uninterested in this. Thoroughly.
Do you know why brother and sister looked forward to the evening? When the dinner hour at home is treated with a certain amount of graciousness and ceremony, it can be memorable. There is no family so poor but that the evening meal can be eaten in an atmosphere of warmth and gentleness. There is no family so busy but that it can come together in the evening for a dinner date which will give its members something to look back upon with happiness.
Is that Old English? What is he speaking? Thou, thy, that, thou, thus.
All their days.
All right. Well, there we go.
God, you gotta love it.
That's how it's done.
That's how it's done there, kids. If there's any questions about what you should be doing at dinner, we just answered them for you. Maybe Yeze needed to watch that.
Yeah.
I hate how these 50s videos, I mean, it's almost like women are disregarded entities in a lot of ways.
I mean, they're good for cooking and cleaning. That's for sure.
That's right. And then
that dinner wouldn't be on the table. That slop wouldn't be on the table.
I know. Then they have hour-long commercials about, the brand new dishwasher that's going to change your life. And it's all so condescending. I don't like it. But it's funny because it's so different now. And in a lot of ways, not different now.
True.
Yeah. That's why get out and vote. Do your thing. Well, voting was yesterday. So
I voted today.
Good for you.
I went straight in, walked out. It was easy.
Good for you. This is it. We got to do it. We got to get out there, no matter who you're voting for. Make your voice heard by voting. By voting in the direction you think the country should go in.
Yeah, whatever it is, just vote.
Just vote. Yeah, we don't care. We're not here to tell you. Go to another show for all of that. We're here to tell you what to do at dinner time. And whose music to listen to. In the 50s. And how to walk on the sidewalk. And what to do when an airplane is being boarded. That's what we're here to do. We're here to show you all the other parts of your wonderful life that you should be paying attention to. TCBpodcast.com is where you go. You find out more information about Krissy and I. All of the audio, all of the video right there at TCBpodcast.com. Do us a favor, like so many of you have. Go to the website, hit the Contact Us button, tell us about yourself, ask for advice, questions, comments, concerns, content ideas, all of it right there through the website at tcbpodcast.com or the brand new TCB hotline, 855-TCB-8383. That's 1-855-TCB-8383. Toll free from anywhere in the world. You can text us or leave us a voicemail. We will respond. There's no spam here, kids. We're not selling your phone numbers.
Or assistance.
Yeah, or assistants, because quite frankly, we can't afford them. We can barely afford to feed ourselves, this stupid show. We just keep on doing them over and over again. It's like we're trapped in our own personal hell. At The Commercial Break on Instagram, youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Go, watch our videos. They're really funny. They're completely different than what you see here. Morgan does such a great job, so go. All right, well, I guess that's all I can do today, Krissy.
I think so, Bryan.
So I'll say I love you.
I love you.
I'll say best to you.
Best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I always say we do say we must say. Bye!
Sometimes during Christmas, something magical happens.
Hey, Cricket customers. The Max with Ads plan is included with the Cricket $60 unlimited plan at no additional cost. And this holiday season, Max is the one to watch when you're feeling festive.
Son of a nutcracker!
Cozy up to all the holiday classics, like Elf, 8-Bit Christmas, and the Harry Potter 8-film collection. Just log in with your Cricket username and password to experience Max on all your favorite devices. Phone plan streams and standard definition programming subject to change. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.